I select repertoire for Latin singers, I'm carefully selecting themes I believe in and lyrics I can stand behind. You know, we repeat the lyrics of a song many times in rehearsals, and we share them with our audiences in performance. So it's important that we believe in those lyrics. That's the inspiration behind Carry the Light, my original contemporary work, with the theme of I have a light inside, it shines the brightest parts of me, and I'm going to carry it through dark times, through bright times, through hardships and hope. I will carry the light and be that beacon. I included just a little bit of the traditional Latin lux aeterna, which means eternal light. The light in me will shine eternally. I hope you enjoy Carry the Light.
All right. What sells first. This is what's selling first. Like, I've already reordered this. Like, I already ran out of how many I thought we were going to sell in the fall, the whole fall. Just for what it's worth, this is what's selling. So let's jump over to the gift to sing. And now I'll be me, not Ian. I'll shrink 8 inches. Now I'm me again.
You've got more hair than you have.
I do. All right. The gift to sing. I love this text. This is a great text. I'm always looking for poetic texts and important, meaningful words to put into children, right? It's not just that the audience is going to hear this text one time in a performance. It's that your students are repeating these words over and over again through your rehearsal process. This is a great beginning of the year concert theme coming back together, and nice room for interpretation. Conservative ranges through here. There are a couple of little solo moments, like top of page 6, that with a note, let's have some sopranos help us out cover that, and then the very end on page 10, little solo moments too, so we'll catch those as a group. All right.
I think there's a misprint in the accompaniment.
Joyce finds all the misprints.
In the left hand at measure 1 and 2, I don't think the left hand should do an octave up.
Oh, yeah,
So I think the octave comment for the left hand should not be there.
that should be, yeah, where it is, yep.
Otherwise,
Yep.
oh.
Very Ives, like the trains crossing, very Ivesian. Interpretation and we'd have it, right? Some really nice interpretive rubato moments to get feedback from kids. How do they, where do we stretch? Where do we push tempo? Where do we pull? Helping them make those creative decisions. I think that's a good option for that. Haydn for teaching classical style, the happy, bouncing feel in classical literature. Nice Latin vowels, good part independence through here. Something I think we're all kind of noticing after a year or so singing in masks, that who knows what kind of vowels were happening back behind there, right? So I know a lot of people have talked about really focusing on opening mouths, tall vowels as we're kind of hopefully coming out through this and building that back up. This is 3-part mixed, so changing the baritone voice that would be nice for middle school. This is hard for middle school, honestly. But I think this 3-part mix, that baritone part doesn't hang out too far up to do with a high school group. If you really did have a true SAB group, you could still do this at the high school level too. We start with a little soli ensemble, so your audition has already happened. If you think you got it, you did. Good job, welcome. All right. Kids that are ready for this style, for this difficulty, they will eat this up. They will be so excited and enthusiastic about that kind of style because it's so satisfying. Awakening, a nice treble SSA option. Christi Jones is a teacher in Texas. We're starting to see more things from her, so that's starting to be a name that I recognize and think, oh, like this might be good when I'm looking through new stuff. And this does a really nice job, unison into part singing, nice harmonic writing through here with good like motion and drive, that driving 8th note underneath. As we go through, we'll take the second ending when we get there. All right. into Class B, very indicative of that level. Coming up next, the 90s are back. My geriatric millennial heart is truly thrilled. Our time has come. You've probably seen Jimmy Fallon has a series that he does on The Tonight Show with the Roots, where they do with pop stars, with the Roots, with classroom instruments, xylophones, güiro, all kinds of stuff. The one I keep seeing is Adele when they do Hello, Hello from the Other Side. But this one's from about 2018 with Backstreet Boys. Really great creativity through here. You'll see the melody through all parts. Everybody's got an interesting part. Overall, it's really fairly easy. And the instruments are a lot of fun. You'll see the parts, the instrumental parts are based on ostinatos. So they're repetitive in the right way that kids can play. Get your principal to play. Get your school board president to play. Get your parents to play. All that kind of fun stuff. So let's hear this one. There we go. Take that to your elementary schools on tour, out in the community, super fun. Pictures in the sky. Bruce Tippette is another name that I'm starting to look at. Doing some really nice writing. I believe he's from like North Carolina, Raleigh-Durham kind of area, memory serves me. And is doing a lot of nice choral writing. He also writes band and string orchestra stuff, and I feel like I've seen his name on handbell things too. So well-rounded, and not every composer can do all of those things well, but he's doing a pretty good job. Nice things in all of those categories. So like a nice musician and a nice writer. Educational, teachable writing. This is a nice, again, two-part middle school into high school treble, two-part lyrical, really nice melodies through here. In comes one, and... Another nice two-part option. Again, Donnelly and Strid. This is a style that they do so well, that partner song plus kind of difficulty. And I like seeing that with a nice Robert Louis Stevenson text, connecting that into literature as well. All right. Watercolor Morning. is a new voicing this year in SSAB. So if you've got more trebles in your class than baritones, it's nice to help with balance. Also, perhaps this happens sometimes, perhaps your trebles are more advanced, say, than your tenors and baritones. There's nice 3-part treble writing that I think lets them demonstrate some of that skill. And again, nice room for rubato through this, nice dissonance. This one feels nice too. I love that piano part too. It lays really nicely. It would be nice in the spring. It feels springy to me. And never give up. Never give up. Rollo Dilworth does such great teachable writing, great style in what he does. This is a new two-part voicing this year. The original voicing is SATB, and the SATB of this I think is a great example of 8th grade SATB, which can be hard to find, like good 4-part, the right range for baby tenors, the right range for baby basses. I feel like in middle school, especially like 8th grade, there's a time when you want fewer parts because you want more kids on one part so they support each other, and there's a point where it's better to have more parts because then this part is going to fit this kid today, what his voice is today. So that's a good example of that. Great positive, encouraging text. We're reading a few things today in this new Voices in Harmony series, which is focused on social emotional learning. And there are lesson plans online that go with all of the titles in this series that are really nice, good talking points, important things to talk about with kids. Themes in this one of perseverance and compassion, empathy, collaboration. We are working together. Again, all things that I want to put into the children that we're working with, the kids that we're working with. Let's stand and sing this. Let's stand.
Are you gonna take all the repeats?
I think let's not take the repeats. That's the very end, page 11 and 12. We'll go straight through at the end. All right.